So I'm Niall McGreevy. A lot of people call me Neil, Neo. What else?
Nage.
Nidge, Nigel. I go by many names, but Niall McGreevy from Belfast. I didn't really think it was going to actually get moved down here.
Did I ever think about quitting? Probably a few times. The Irish fighters always really came and showed up and fought, but the boys was just missed out because their skill or their experience wasn't there. But I knew it was dangerous, and I knew it was like, yeah, you could actually hurt yourself doing this here. So, the ultimate goal for RWF is to win the belt, obviously.
So I grew up in a place called Lenadine in West Belfast, and it's basically like a mix between council estate and working class area, I'd say. It was good, it was fun, so plenty of experiences. I played for St Paul's most of my life, so I was basically all I done from I was 4 to 15, 16. You wouldn't see me without a hurling stick in my hand. Like, I was there on the pitch, or I was hitting the ball up against the neighbour's house, or I was just running about the street just like a normal kid. Like, and my life just revolved around training around in St Paul's and farting about there. So people from this area would be sporty and be doing stuff, and then once they start hitting about 13, 14, they start experimenting with different stuff like drugs or drink, and then by the time they hit 16, 17, they can start going to the pub. Like, that's usually the path people follow for a good couple of years, and then it follows late into their 20s, and then continues, or they meet someone to get a house, like that, like, and they usually fall away from stuff they've done, like football, Gaelic, boxing when they were younger. I wouldn't have really drank. Like, I tried stuff, like, do you know what I mean, when I was like 12, 13, got caught. So that kept me, like, and I was always afraid to get caught again, so I kept away from most of it, like, but my mates would have been doing it, but I would have had the dog with me, or just had the hurling stick in my hand, just farting about. But I would have been around it, but I wouldn't have succumbed to the pressure maybe until I was about 16. And then the older I got, obviously, I would have went out, but Muay Thai and stuff always kept me away from it for the majority of the time. Actually good in school. Yeah, I was interested in like science and stuff, and PE, learned about the body and stuff. Actually, it was a bit of good religion too, so that's what I done. I grew up very close to my family, and basically most of my cousins were always in my granny's house. My life revolved around going to my granny's house. So we grew up basically. We would have went to school, came back to my granny's house, stayed there, ran about, and then I would have been up with my cousins at the weekend. So it was very family orientated. I was just growing up with role models, like my uncles, my granny, my granda, and my mummy, like, and still like work hard, do what you're told, and just have respect for your elders and just look after people. I basically learned how to look after the people you love from the people above, or the people who were me. So I played Gaelic and hurling from I was 4, and I didn't really stop playing that until 16, 17. So I was basically big. I was a big club guy when I was younger. Always played for the club, and that was basically what my life revolved around. From I was like 4 to 15, 16, and then I would have got a bit of. I'm not bored of it, like I would say, but I've always wanted to try different things. So I tried boxing for a year. I had 2 fights. I tried kickboxing for a couple months when I was like 9 or 10. I had like 1 or 2 fights, and then I tried football for like a year or two. And I never really clicked with them all. Like I always went back to hurling and Gaelic. It just gave me something to do, and I love being around all the boys. Like I met like a lot of like friends through that there. Do you know what I mean? And it was a good social hang for the lads, and we always had good role models ahead of us, like Kevin Gamble, Big Ronan, and Kevin Murray. So it was a good club to be around, and it was just give me something to do and give me a bit of purpose and a bit of structure and routine. I've always been drawn to sport. Like I needed something to stimulate me and like focus on, or my energy would have just went like to the wrong places. You know what I mean? I need something to, when you're playing sport, like you forget what's going on and you're just focused on doing that skill for the hour or the 2 hours, and whatever else is going on in your life, like you blank out, and it's like meditation almost. Okay. I first heard of Muay Thai when we were in 4th year or 5th year, so I might have been about 15. And Garrett Snelly was in my class in secondary school, so he asked me would I have liked to come down and try a class, and I was like, yeah, I'll just come down and give it a go while the hurling and Gaelic season was off, just to try and keep fit and again try something new. So once I went down, I met Jamie and stuff, and I was just doing the beginners classes for a couple of months, and then once the hurling and Gaelic season started again, I went back to it, but I kept doing Muay Thai. And then I think for another year I kept training, but the more trained Muay Thai, the more I started to like it, and it just sort of overtook the hurling and Gaelic, and it sort of transitioned that I was starting to do Muay Thai more and Gaelic and hurling less. I didn't really think it was going to actually amount to anything. Like I just started to keep fit and actually like to learn how to handle myself a wee bit. So, but I don't know, I just like stuck with it and just kept going, and it has like popped off, to be fair. So it has worked out well so far, so I'm happy enough how it's turned out.